There wasn't a single one of them who was earning less than R1 million. And what do these guys actually do? Certainly, the massive consumption by the black elite is unsustainable and has to be reversed. I saw the other day there was the Star newspaper published a whole page about the salaries of the executives of the Johannesburg municipality. There wasn't a single one of them who was earning less than R1 million. And what do these guys actually do? They're earning a huge amount of money now. Multiply that with the many other cities that we have in this country, and you can see for yourself what is happening to the wealth of South Africa. It's being diverted to from the production sector of South Africa to this massive consumption by the black elite, and incidentally to this welfare spending, which reinforces the poverty of the poor Africans. It doesn't solve their poverty. Somebody pointed out to me the other day that South Africa, the South African taxpayer, is unique amongst taxpayers in paying twice for the same thing. You pay for the medical services of the people of South Africa through your tax. But you also pay a second tax, which is your medical aid. You pay a tax to have the police to protect you, the army to protect you, okay, I won't mention Richard Ndluli, but you pay essentially to be protected by the police. But on top of that, you pay another tax to the private security companies to protect you. And you can go down the list on education and so on and so forth. So South Africa, precisely because of the characteristics of our dominant elite, you have this massive taxation of our society. And I will come and mention, I will say what the consequences for the development of our economy of this massive tax burden that the taxpayer in South Africa sits with. What is interesting about this is that South Africa's government consumption is over 20% of GDP, whereas China's government consumption is below 15% of GDP. Just to give you an illustration of, I was talking the other day to the CEO of BMW, asking him about what car does the General Secretary of the Communist Party in China drives. He told me that he drives a 5 Series BMW, which is made in China. The General Secretary of the South African Communist Party drives two 7 Series BMWs, which are wholly imported from Germany. So that gives you an idea of what the elites are doing to this country. The ANC government is about consumption. It's not about production. The production in South Africa is totally secondary to them, and where production competes with consumption, consumption wins. The first proposal is the development of entrepreneurs. Instead of developing an administrative class, which is what the ANC has been developing in the last 18 years, it has been developing an administrative class. We have to develop a productive entrepreneurial class in South Africa. Without that, we're going nowhere. An entrepreneurial class obviously has to have the science, maths, engineering, and management education. Without that, you cannot be really an entrepreneur in the modern economy of today. But a third point which I'm making is that we need a new politics in South Africa, a new, more inclusive politics, not a politics just dominated by the black elite and the black poor, but we need a politics that is more inclusive, that will include formal sector workers like my friends in COSATU, that will include the owners of the productive assets of South Africa, the capitalists, as you Because without including these two critical components of our production system, which is the formal sector workers, most of whom belong to unions, and the capitalists who control our assets, as long as they are out of the political loop and the decision-making system, political system of South Africa, we will never have economic growth that is meaningful. We will be treading water between the 3.5%, which is what is happening to South Africa. Because these two groups, at the end of the day, control the productive assets of this country. And if they are not incorporated into the decision-making of our political system, you are not going to see economic growth.